You know, for any musician out there today, VIP experiences can feel like a golden ticket. I mean, they're a chance to really connect with your most dedicated fans and, honestly, to make touring financially possible. But man, it's a tightrope walk. There is such a thin line between creating an unforgettable moment and what feels like a total cash grab. If you get it wrong, you risk pushing away the very people who support you the most. So, the big question is, how do you get it right?
So, what's at the heart of all this? It really comes down to one massive misunderstanding. Artists, they worry that putting a price on their time just feels wrong, like it's exploitative. But here's the fans' reality. The money itself isn't the problem. What actually feels exploitative is paying for an experience that's rushed, impersonal, and cold. That feeling of being shuffled through a factory assembly line, that's what does the real damage. And that's the core of it, right? It's this constant dilemma. How do you balance the real-world pressures of a tour budget with the absolute need to keep that authentic, genuine relationship with your audience?
Okay, let's get real for a second about the money. Streaming, well, it pays pennies. And the costs for touring, we're talking gas, crew, production, those are just soaring. So the profit margins can be razor thin. For a lot of artists, this isn't about getting rich. It's literally about financial survival. It's about being able to afford to keep making music in the first place.
And that's where these VIP packages become so critical. I mean, just look at the math. It's pretty compelling. Let's say you get just 25 fans to pay an extra $75 for a premium experience. You do that at 20 shows and boom, suddenly you've got an extra $37,500. That is high margin revenue that can be the difference between a tour just breaking even or actually making a profit.
All right, so the money side makes sense. We get the financial need. But to really nail this, you have to completely flip the script and look at everything from the fans' point of view. What are they actually buying? And let me give you a hint, they're not just paying for a quick photo.
And this right here is the absolute game changer. This is the main thing to get. Fans are smart. They understand that artists need to make a living, and they are more than happy to pay for something that feels special. What they will not stand for is feeling ripped off for some lackluster, totally transactional event. So, the real goal here is to deliver what we'll call meaningful value. And what is that exactly? Well, think of it like a recipe with 3 key ingredients. You've got exclusive access, that feeling of being part of a small, select group, and the most important one of all, forging a genuine, personal connection with the artist. So when you nail that meaningful value, what are fans actually walking away with? It's about real interaction, not just a quick handshake. It's hearing a story you just can't get anywhere else. It's feeling the artist's genuine gratitude and that sense of exclusivity. But ultimately, what they're really buying is an emotional memory, something that's going to last them a lifetime.
Okay, so that brings us to the how-to, right? The actual playbook for making this happen. Because knowing what fans want is one thing, but designing an experience that actually delivers on that promise, that's the real challenge.
You know, a truly great VIP experience, it really boils down to 5 things you just can't skip. First, you have to limit the group size. That's how you create that essential feeling of exclusivity. Second, you need to build in time for actual conversation, something that goes way beyond a simple photo op. Third, the vibe has to be relaxed. Stress is the enemy of connection. Fourth, offer a meaningful keepsake, something unique they'll actually cherish. And finally, none of this works if your staff isn't managing the whole thing smoothly and with respect.
Look, if you take away only one thing from this whole discussion, let it be this: avoid the factory line at all costs. The second a fan feels like just another product being processed, you've already lost. The damage to your reputation from one of those cold, rushed events will cost you way more than whatever revenue you just made. All right, so you've designed this amazing, memorable experience. Awesome. Now comes the million-dollar question, or maybe the $100 question. How do you actually price it? This needs a real strategy, not just plucking a number out of thin air.
Well, looking at the data can give us a pretty good ballpark. For emerging artists, you're usually looking at a VIP add-on somewhere in that $30 to $150 range. But for more established artists with way more demand, that can easily climb from $150 up to $500, maybe even higher. The key is just being realistic about where you fit in the market.
What you're really looking for is what we call the balance point. See, if you price it too low, the event gets overcrowded, and that kills that exclusive feeling we talked about. But if you price it too high, you risk looking totally out of touch and pushing away your core fan base. It's a really delicate balancing act.
But here's the thing. A good price isn't just about the number itself.
It's built on a foundation of trust, and that trust really stands on 3 pillars. First, transparency. Fans have to know exactly what they're paying for. Second, clear value. The experience has to feel worth what it costs. And third, goodwill. You have to maintain a positive vibe with your entire fan base, not just the VIPs.
So how do you actually build and keep that goodwill? It's all about being radically transparent. Tell fans exactly what's included, exactly how long it lasts, and what all the policies are right up front. But, and this is so crucial, don't forget about the fans who can't afford the VIP ticket. Offer free touchpoints, a quick chat at the merch table, something. Because VIP access should be something that enhances your connection with fans, not something that replaces it.
So when you tie all of this together, the money, the fans' feelings, the practical steps, it all points to one big, simple, golden rule for success.
And here it is. This is the whole secret sauce. The artists who are absolutely crushing it are the ones who have mastered this balance. They figured out how to balance the need to monetize with the art of creating authentic, respectful connections. It's not about choosing money or relationships. It's about finding a way to make them work together.
And that really leaves us with one last question to think about. When you create an experience that gives a fan a memory that lasts a lifetime, something that deepens their loyalty for years and years to come, what's the true price of a genuine connection like that?